Welcome back, everyone, to the Bears From Plays YouTube channel. Today is Tuesday. It is March 11th, and I'm back bringing out some more college basketball picks and props for Tuesday. ACC tournament kickoff, Big 12 tournament kickoff. Should be a fun day to watch college sports, and a lot of these games are starting early afternoon. Don't love that. I do not have a good track record with games on while at work, so hopefully that will not affect us in this one. I like to watch my games also. I don't like to look at the box score. I don't like to look at the play-by-play to see how my player props are doing. Also, I don't know if anybody does this. If I have a player prop like over 15 points and I don't watch the game, I will go play-by-play. I will start in the first quarter. I will go play-by-play, moving my finger to see who scored the bucket because I like to keep track that way. I don't know. Is it weird? Yes, definitely. But I like to keep the suspense. I just don't like going to the box score and be like, oh, he had 17 points. We hit. Or he had 8 points, we didn't hit. I like to go play by play and keep myself in it as far as it's almost like I'm watching the game when I do that. But anyway, games for Monday. Cleveland State has not started yet. Couldn't find John Camden anywhere. But I'm pretty sure he finished with 15 points. Delaware gets the outright win going up against Towson. They've won 4 in a row. They hit 18 threes going up against William & Mary. They were knocking down threes in this game against Towson. They were up the majority of they were up the entire second half. Going up against Towson, and I think they lost. I think they won that game by double-digit points. So Delaware's 1 win away from dancing, a 12-win team on the season, 1 win away from March. They are Cinderella this year if they get in. Maybe they cause some havoc in March Madness. That would be awesome to watch. Cleveland State has not started yet. Actually, they probably just tipped off about 10 minutes ago. So we have them -2.5 going up against Youngstown State. Nothing to report yet, but we have some games to talk about for tomorrow. We're going to start with California going up against Virginia Tech. Maybe the 2 worst teams in the ACC coming into this tournament because they haven't been able to win a game all season long. I shouldn't say that. Since the start of February, neither one of these teams have been winning a lot of games. California, they were 11-9 on January 25th. They finished the season 13-18 with a 4 overtime loss to Notre Dame, 112-110 as their final game. For Virginia Tech, they had 8 wins, 9 losses on January 15th. They finished their season with 13-18 record, getting their ass kicked in back-to-back games against North Carolina 91-59 and Clemson 65-47 in back-to-back games coming into the tournament. The only win Virginia Tech's had over the last 3 weeks has been Syracuse. They beat them 101-95 in overtime. Really not an impressive win. Syracuse isn't a very good team. But for California, they have 1 win since February 5th. It was against Boston College on March 1st. Both of these teams coming in reeking, but California can score. Virginia Tech's had some problems scoring over the last several months. They are not a very good scoring team. I know California does not play defense, but in March Madness, every single time, even in the regular season game, if I have an offense who can put up 80 points almost every night, going up against an offense who puts up about 65 points a night, I'm taking the offense every single time. Defense will come in the tournament. This is do or die for both teams. We need people who can make shots on the court, and that's California. I'm taking California here, -2.5. It's disgusting, I know. Both these teams have been brutally bad over the last several games, but California is going to be the play. I just don't think Virginia Tech can make their shots. If they're not making threes, they're not winning this game. So give me California -2.5 as the play. And let's go talk about the Big 12 now, because speaking of teams that have been awful, B.J. Freeman got dismissed. That's the best player for Arizona State. They were like, well, now what? Now what do we do? A 12-8 team dismisses your best player, and what happened? They win 1 game the rest of the season. They finish 13-18 with a 30-point loss in the last game going up against Texas Tech. For Kansas State, they were on that really good winning streak, almost got their way into March Madness just off an automatic bid, or not automatic bid, and what is it called? Not at birth, at large bid. I think that's at large, or at large sounds right. An at-large bid made for Kansas State, and then 4 consecutive losses. BYU, Utah, Arizona State beat Kansas State on their home floor, and then they lost to UCF. They're coming into this one after losing to Iowa State by 16 points. I went back and looked at the numbers for that Arizona State game that they beat Kansas State. 2 huge things. 1, Kansas State didn't make a shot. They were horrible from the outside. They were horrible from the inside. They shot 35% in the game. 2, they didn't have Coleman Hawkins. That's a monster piece for them, and he is back now. And I think Kansas State, even with all the struggles they've had this season, they haven't had more struggles than Arizona State. Arizona State has been a bad team basically the entire season. They have lost 14 games out of the last 17 they've played. I'm taking Kansas State here. Plus, we get a little bit of a nod with a little bit of a home court advantage with Kansas State as well. So I'm taking them minus 5.5. Coleman Hawkins going to make the difference in this one for the Wildcats. Give me them to survive and advance and cover the spread as the final game pick of the day. For the player prop, it's only going to be one. I wasn't very comfortable with anything for the player prop side. Maybe Jizzle James for Cincinnati going up against OK State. Maybe, if you want to take a look at that. But I really wasn't comfortable with anything besides this play. This is a man on a mission. Over the last several games, even without Coleman Hawkins, he had to take a step up, and now with Coleman Hawkins back, 8 of 10 from the field against Iowa State, 8 of 10 from the field from Cincinnati, 8 of 14 from the field against Colorado, 18-plus points in 3 consecutive games, and against Arizona State. Nobody stopping the big man down low. 30 minutes in the second game, 8 of 13 from the field, 20 points in the second game against Arizona State. First game on the road against Arizona State, 36 minutes, 8 of 11 from the field, 22 points. 20-plus points in both games against Arizona State. They've had no answer for him. Feed the man down low. Super athletic guy. He finished with the dunks more than layups. I like David Guson to go over the total points going up against Arizona State. Thinking 13.5, 14.5. I think this game will be one with Coleman Hawkins and David on the inside. So I'm going to go over the total points as the final play of the day. Let's go to that recap graphic for tomorrow. We have California minus 2.5. I'm picking offense over defense. Kansas State minus 5.5. They lost the second time against Arizona State. No Coleman Hawkins in that lineup. He's back. He will make a difference in this game. I'll lay the points with Kansas State minus 5.5. And then David Guson over the total points going up against Arizona State, probably 13.5, maybe 14.5 for the way he's been playing against Arizona State. They might bump it up a little bit, but 13.5 for right now as the final play of the day. Guys, it's going to do it for the NCAA basketball picks and props for Tuesday, March 11th slated games. So you guys enjoy the content. Please drop on this video and subscribe down below. See you guys next video, and thanks for watching.